Good morning. Let's see, I'm just setting myself up here. Hi. Actually that camera's in the wrong spot, isn't it? I'm just realizing that. Let me move it back over 1 second. Let me switch this so you don't have to watch me make silly motions here. There we go. Now that's a little better. I think we are all set. Alright, I finally got a chance to do a morning session, so here I am. Just getting my smock on, sleeves rolled up, as they should be. Oh my goodness, look at that. I've got a sleeve thing. I don't know that I ever knew this was there. Button's way up there though. Do I want it to be way up there? Hold on. It's amazing what you discover when you roll up your sleeves. Do I want this to be way up there? It'd be nice to just have them stay upright. I might just do it. Check that out. Hopefully you can hear me. Looks like you can. Great. I don't think I've ever used this thing before because I can't get the I can't get it around the button. Alright, so we're gonna scrap that for now. Here we go. So what are we doing? We're painting this. So metal and glass. Some things you can think about when you're painting is stop looking at the objects. Okay, I'm going to put these in the corner so you can see them, just like that. So try not to paint the object. All right, paint the colors and the shapes that you see within the object, around the object, behind the object. Paint those detail shapes. Now we're going to go kind of large details to small details. So right now we're at the large detail stage. We're just putting in our painting wash. This is the first layer of painting. It looks awful at the moment because it's certainly not finished. It's you know, you can see through the paint to the canvas, as you should. It is a wash. So that's where we're going to be. Oh, I need to turn my light on here for my setup. That looks better. The other thing is the paints. So you will see that I have covered them up since our last session. We're going to see what's survived and what hasn't. Paints will dry. Oil paints take a long time to dry, but if you don't cover them, they will definitely dry. I haven't painted for 2 days. If you cover them with some plastic, I hate to throw away good plastic, but is the sacrifice we make as artists to do certain things, I guess. I'll need my turpentine. Let's put that there. Let's see. I want to make sure you can see everything as much as possible. And let's see. I'm going the wrong direction with that, aren't I? Let's see. I guess I can put it on this side. I'll put it on that side. Sure, I can flip-flop things. Last time I had it the other way around, but that's okay. So, open my turpentine up. With a wash, we're only going to use turpentine and paint. We've got our linseed oil here, but we're not going to use it until we're done with the wash. So you can see my paint should be pretty wet, still wet. Still wet. Let's see about anything in the middle there that I mixed. Let's see if this is still wet. That's still wet. Great. You know, still wet. Good. So we still have some usable paint that we've put together, which is great. Move this down here. So, welcome to class, and let's get started. Not sure if anyone's going to join me today. At the moment, it's pretty quiet. So, let's get some paints going here. I'm going to use let's see. Oh, my brushes. This is what happens when you're not prepared. My brushes are in the other room that I used the other day, and I was enjoying those brushes. I might have to go get them. Give me one moment. All right. So I've got my brushes. They're just, I've got a wide flat brush and a narrow flat brush, 13 millimeter and 3 millimeter. They're good brushes. I enjoyed using them the other day, so I'm going to keep using them. My paints are really far away because my box is kind of sticking out a little bit, but I'm going to pull, see, I'm going to mess everything up here because I want this to be a little closer to me, but I'm going to leave it for now. I'm not going to mess that up. All right, let's get going. So let's look at our setup again here. It's a little bit dark, but that's close to what I see. It's a little bit brighter in my view. Oh, and I've got to take a little top on there. Take that off. All right, we're going to continue with the silver shaker in the background there. And I think I just need some grays at the moment. And I know I got my two brushes there. I'm actually going to switch to a 10 millimeter. So let's go ahead and paint. So let me clean that brush off. Oh, see, I got to be careful because I might have to get a new. Maybe I can just swap that around. I touched it and there's some wet paint on there still. I'm just going to turn it around so it's not, see, there's wet paint all over it, I think. I'm going to move that over to the side and I'm going to get myself another rag. All right, having fresh rags around is a really good idea. I don't want to get paint all over me, even though there's paint all over my smock. I try my best to keep it off of me because oil paint kind of goes everywhere. Gets on everything. Let's dry that off. All right. Now, we're using turpentine as a thinner, And there's a reason why we're using turpentine as thinner, because turpentine speeds up drying time. All right, we don't want to spend. I'm going to leave my this should be dry from the other day. Yeah, it's all dry. Just making sure. It might be a little bit wet. I don't know. Maybe I will use my maul stick. I'm not being too worried about what is accurate and what is not accurate at this point. I really just want to cover up the canvas as fast as I can, because I don't want to spend all a year on this painting. I like detail. I like detail quite a bit. That's where the maul brush comes in handy. You just put it at the angle that you want and run it down just like that. If you're just joining me, thank you for joining. Welcome. Let's see. It's early here. It's only 7:30. I'm just getting started for the day. I'll be here for about an hour, I hope. And you're welcome to stay as long as you want, of course. I love when people hang out and chat a little bit, so feel free to say hi. I guess it doesn't matter. That's fine. I think I've got the painting set up in a way that doesn't block your view, which is nice. This is there. This should be there. So should that. I'm looking at this line that I drew in, and I'm realizing that the gray needed to go up to it. I think it's going to be a quiet morning here, and that's okay. I'll just paint, and you can watch. Let's see here. I'm looking here. I got to remind myself to paint what I see, not what I think I see. And that's going to help me out a lot. Let's see here. So I'm gonna mix a little bit here. Take a little bit of this dark. I'll mix it over here, I guess. Yeah, that's fine. Let's see. Goes all over the top here. All right. Oh, see what happens when you don't pay attention? I do that a lot. I think I need to switch brushes here. So I'm going to switch to this 3mm, I think it is. Make sure it's good and clean. Soap on my brush. That kind of hardens when it dries and keeps the bristles all facing the direction that I want. Oh, that's not the one I wanted. I wanted this darker one. All right. Actually, I will keep using this one here. Over on this side. There's some detail in there. So I'm looking at that area right there. There's some detail. It's actually a reflection of me. I'm going to ignore some of that for the time being, and I'll paint it in later on. Hopefully it will save me some time. There's a little edge there that I want to preserve if I can. And I gotta pay attention to where I'm going because I went a little far there. A little far, that's okay. Highlight colors will show up. Because there's a streak of light down the center. I almost touched the canvas with that. If you're just joining me, welcome. My name is Jason. Glad to have you. Here's what we're painting today. And I just kind of paint and go along. If you feel like saying hello, feel free. I look down at my tablet every now and then to see if anybody is here. Looks like somebody's joined me, so welcome, hello. Let's see. There's a lot of little things going on in there, and I don't want to paint them all yet, because I can paint some of that stuff later on. Let's see. I'm seeing that there's a slight issue with my drawing. Nothing major, but I gotta pay attention or I'm gonna paint things that aren't there. So I've got the reflection of this glass in here, and it actually goes down all the way down here. So I'm gonna try to get that line. Well, it only goes down to here like that. So it's about paying attention to the shapes that you see. Not drawing things that aren't there. Painting things that aren't there, I should say. Let's see, it goes down to about there. Right. And then let's pull it all the way down, nice and straight, using my maul stick there. right. Getting closer for sure. You can get that cap up at the top there. That's pretty dark, actually. A lot of looking back and forth. At some point, though, you got to make a decision and get some paint on the canvas. Don't get paralyzed by trying to evaluate what you see there. I might have to switch to another brush for some of this. This brush is great, it's working really nicely, but I'm not able to get some of the... Let me try it one more time and see if I can do it. Maybe I can keep it for now. Just trying to get more of a cornered edge there. It just kind of carries down. Repeat. It's a similar shape here. And repeat again. This is not a painting that's done in a half an hour. This is a painting that's done over time, using your eyes, using your brain, and gets amazing results, I hope. I've definitely had, I think every artist has, paintings that they've been disappointed with, or paintings or drawings, it's part of the process. You gotta be okay to fail, Everything isn't going to be amazing, so be okay with that. Part of what I'm looking at right now that I'm like, boy, I don't know if this is going to be okay or not, is, my lines aren't particularly straight. It looks pretty messy right now. And I keep having to remind myself, yeah, it's messy for a reason. You're doing a wash at the moment, and washes are not supposed to be pretty yet. Okay, they need time to come together, And I can't say that doesn't look like silver. It does, but it's got a long ways to go. it scares me sometimes to look at how far I need to go with things. I'm not sure why. All right, I'm going to keep working with the grays and the blacks because I still have a bit more to do. Let me think here. All right, I'm going to go and work in this area here a little bit. Let's see. Need some lighter grays maybe. Not too light, but a little bit. Again, just working with the turpentine and the paint. Oh, it's a little too dark. A little bit more in there. It's still pretty dark, but I think it's okay. Turpentine on that. Some people will not be happy painting with turpentine at all. It is very smelly. I was gonna pick up some stuff that was essentially they label it odorless turpentine, which I'm gonna have to research a little bit, because when I turned it over and looked at it, while it may have had less odor, it said it slowed drying time. And that is not what I want. If I slow drying time on a wash, it will take me forever to get the wash done. And that's not good. Let's see. I'm going to get a little darker in here maybe. It kind of gets lighter as it goes down. Okay, I'll move down to this glass area here and get some colors in that. The reflection of the glass right in here. So again, this is going to be fairly dark. I'm questioning my brush here. I'm going to change brushes. Change brushes. All right, I'm going to put that there. I think I'm going to go with a round brush this time. I always keep my brushes, let's see, what is this? This is a 2. If they come with these little plastic things, I try to keep them on there. Keeps me from knocking them over. I don't have to. I don't know. It's kind of a silly thing that I do. I'm going to try with the number 2. Let's see how that works. If you're just joining me, welcome. Glad to have you. I'm going to go pretty dark with this at the moment. I'm doing a reflection in, let's see, a little more turpentine. All right. Well, people come and go so quick. I don't always know when it's worth it to say hi. Well, this is getting into the weeds a little bit. A little bit much detail, but it's an important part of the piece. The reflection of the glass. So I want to make sure it's done right. Let's see here. I'm going to I'll wash that whole thing, and I know there's details in there that I want to get, but I think I'm going to do that at on a separate layer. I'm just going to put that down for now, and let's go back to my, excuse me, slightly wider brush, and block that in. I didn't clean this one off on purpose because I thought there might be some details I want to grab. All right. I don't want to get too also a bit of darkness at the bottom of that glass. So that goes all the way down here. And the drawing is not in there really at the bottom here, but I'm going to go a little bit lighter. Oh, see, nobody told me to change my view. You got to tell me to change my view. That's why I need you guys here. Keep me on my toes. Oh, hi. Good morning. This was a pain. I wasn't sure if you were going to show up today. But it's good to see you. I was able to get in here early. It's almost the Thanksgiving holiday, so not much going on today. I should be able to come online twice today, unless something crazy happens. I don't expect it to. So we'll just say I'll be here later on too. Always make sure I'm changing my camera for you. Where does that go? That goes right there, yeah. And funny little wavy thing in there. Again, getting a little bit in the weeds with that detail, but I want to make sure it's there. Alright, since I've got something dark on my brush, I'm just going to put in a little bit of shadow down here too. I'm not going to touch that one yet. All right, where are we at? I'm always nervous to change gears, you know. I don't know why. All right, let me clean these brushes off, I guess. I'm going to change gears, change colors a little bit. I got to practice what I preach, right? I don't want to sit here and get paralyzed. Ah, school day, yes. I hope you've had a nice day at school. I showed up early today. Not very early, but a little bit early. And I think I found an interesting thing. So you know the story of my cameras here. I think the issue is the music. So I think the cameras are fine. I think their program adding the music and the cameras and YouTube and everything at once, I think is too much for the program. And so whenever I turn on the music, one of the cameras will have problems. So anyways, what are we going to do now? So now there's some other colors in that shaker, lighter colors. I'm going to get the reflection of the wood first. So let's go with our wood color that we started to mix over here. But because it's the reflection, it's slightly different color than what I've got there. It's a little bit darker. So I'm going to get a little bit of this, let me get some of this here. And pull it over here and see what I can get out of that. And then I'll put it up there. Actually, that's a really good color. That's a really good color. I like that. So let's get a little turpentine on that. Let's Start blocking that in a little bit here and there. Boy, that looks so dark. I'm just kind of testing it here with my eyes. Maybe it's a little bit dark. Maybe I'll grab a little bit of white. Just a touch. Yeah, that might be better. That might be better. Let's find out. It's okay. It's just a wash. It's funny. It's like no difference. It's all right. Let's see. I could probably get away with just painting that whole one color and then going over the top of that. I'm sure other people would be looking at my method and saying, what are you doing, dude? You're getting too detailed right off the bat. And that's probably a fault of mine. I can't help it, really. That's fine. I cannot help but see the detail. More turpentine. So I suppose every artist process is a little bit different, how their brain kind of works and sees things. Maybe I'll try something at some point and get something detailed and really try to go from really simple and get detailed as you go. I don't know. That didn't do anything. And I want some lightness on the edge here. Oh, I didn't take my graphic off. See? You didn't tell me. Ugh. That's pretty good there. What we're going to do for that glass? Well, there's actually more. I've got more of this color going up here, so let's get that in too. This is pretty light, so I'll stick with the light stuff here. Right. That goes all the way down, so let's get that. Right. I know technology. It's really not the technology. It's me paying attention. So I'm trying to pay attention to what I'm painting, and I'm trying to pay attention to the cameras at the same time. So probably too much to deal with, but that's fine. I'm switching brushes again, going to a round. I want to try to get in this corner here, like that. And I should go in like that a little bit. I'm just going to paint that, and I'll paint the lightness over the top of it. So I made a little mistake here. I'm going to fix it though as I go. This shape isn't exactly the way I want it to be, but so I will have to wrestle it back to where I want it afterwards. Okay. Let's get let's see that corner here. I guess it's a little bit right, but it's a little bit wrong too. This needs to come over here just a little bit further. Go. All right. Now what? All right, we're gonna go a shade. Well, there's some details here and there that I'm like, I want to get in there and I don't want to get in there. Oh, you know what? Well, struggling here, struggling. Let's clean that flat off a little bit. There's some details in here that I'm dying to paint, but at the same time, I don't want to get in there yet. So I'm just going to get some dark colors and paint over this section right here real quick. I'll get the detail in later. Oh, more turpentine. All right, that makes me happier. All right, that makes me happier. Clean this one off too. There's a little bit of color in there that I'm struggling with, but I'm gonna try to get a little bit in there. I'm going to go with this color here for now. I might not be able to paint it in the way that I want it to, but let's see what happens. See, I feel like I'm getting in the weeds again is what I'm doing. Right down here, there's some color, and I can't even see what I'm doing yet because it goes all the way down to this thing here. I think that's my easel. The brown color from my easel is showing up. It's not it's not a color that's moving or changing. It's not me moving back and forth. So I kind of want to just get it in there a little bit so I don't forget about it. Like that. And then some lighter color to it. Up here, I'll probably have to get that in later because it's kind of wet there. But I will put a little bit of it up here because I see it here. I just want to remember it's there, really. It's a decent boundary marker kind of thing. My color is a little bit off and it's there here. Oh, let's say it's there here. Something like that. Anyways. Let me get a little bit, well, see, again, I'm getting into the weeds. All right, let me get that highlight in there, or partially in there. I think I can switch back to my other brush here. And it's going to be pretty light. So I'm going to grab a decent amount of white here. I don't want it to be white, because if it's white, then I've got nowhere to go with the highlight. So it's got to be certainly darker than the white highlights that I've got there. Even the white highlights aren't pure white. Alright, I'm just gonna try to paint these in a little bit. Let me get a little turpentine on there. What time is it? I've got to go in a minute. think with this painting here, you're going to find out whether or not I really know how to paint or not. Oh, there's a different color in there, right in there. I'll have to fix that. Not fix it, I'll have to add it afterwards. And then it's dark on this side, I'll have to add that too. And then here as well. Let's see. A little bit on that side too. And then it gets darker over there, so as I'm adding in more details, I'm realizing where I've forgotten things. Depending on what your background is, what you've got around your silver stuff, your reflective stuff, it will be more or less complicated. I made a very conscious decision to cover the box with black so that there might be less work to do. You know, you got to think about those things as far as how much time will you actually put into this. All right, now I've got to get some additional little details here and there. I'm gonna keep that brush wet for now. I'm gonna go to my round and let's see. I'll choose a grayish. Let's see. I'm gonna go a little bit darker than that. That's up here. Switching it up a little bit. So now this is kind of where I kind of go back and forth. I pick a lot of different colors. I try to tighten up some of the details. Again, I'm not trying to be perfect yet. I want to get to doing the glass this afternoon, and that's a whole nother beast, right? So don't want to get too carried away in the details here. Where am I at here? This is dark. This is dark here. And doing the underpainting also helps you with doing the actual painting, because you already have, hopefully, a solid guide. So the tighter you can make your underpainting within a reasonable amount of time, the easier it will be to paint on top of it. Right? All right, let me get this section in here and that section down there. So clean that off. Welcome if you're just joining me. Painting reflection and glass. Right now I'm just doing the underpainting. So when I switch over to the painting in just a second after I mix a little bit of color here, you're going to be like, what is he doing? I get it. I'm just trying to decide right now what color to choose here. A little bit of this too. Turpentine. This is just the underpainting, okay? So understand that. I know it's just the underpainting. Building up layers. That's what I'm doing here. Got a color here. So this is like because this is what do you call it? Need more turpentine on that. Because that edge is pointing downwards, picking up the table. So notice I am not painting that object. I'm painting the shapes that I see in the object, the colors that I see in the object. I'm not making it up as I go. I am doing my best to accurately represent exactly what I see. Because it's an underpainting, I don't have to spend too much time worrying about the color, more so than the value and the shape. Because I'm going to go over this whole thing after I'm done with the color. I'll go over the whole thing again after the whole thing's covered, and I'll be painting it probably 2 more times. One more time to get the overall value of everything, and then another time to get the detail. So all of that comes with some time. And I don't expect anyone to sit with me and watch the entire thing before they begin their own project, okay? When you're ready to go, go ahead. You know, you can keep this on in the background or just go off and do your thing. But I enjoy your company, so feel free to stay and hang out a little bit. Let's see here. It's quite a bit darker up here, huh? All right, and then I gotta get down there too. Oh, and I gotta get the glass. That's similar color, so we're talking this stuff over here. There's a bit of a dark tone in that. I don't know where I want want to go with that. Let's see. Let's just do that. It just kind of carries across like that. All right. That actually, I like that tone for right there as well. I might just pull that down a little bit, or something like it. Get a little bit more of that in there. More of this in there. Yeah. Color this right up here. And then it's a little bit more gray underneath there. Oh. I could have enough on my brush for that one, but whatever. All right. I don't want to get too, like I said, like I keep saying, I don't want to get too in the weeds on this part. So as I'm looking at it, I should be squinting my eyes actually. That will help me out quite a bit. Some of that color here. I'm going to pull this down further down here. Yeah, that's better. Okay, now it's like a grayish beige, a grayish. That's probably, oh. See, I didn't change my camera. Nobody's watching me. Help me pay attention. So the rest of this, let's see what it looks like. Hopefully it's not too dark. I need to go lighter with it though. Lighter. Or was I? Here I think. Let's try that one. Yeah, that's better. I'm just going to color this whole glass area the same. Because I need to cover this so I can move on. Don't get paralyzed by indecision. Just do it. Pick a color, go. Pick a color, go. I mean, at some point you got to go and you got to get into the details of something, right? If you want to paint something detailed, you gotta take that time. And I haven't spent all that much time on this painting so far. So this is what? This is day 2 of painting, I think, right? It's day 2 or day 3, I can't remember. I hope it's day 2. If it's day 2, I'm doing pretty good. If it's day 3, I'm a little behind. All right. I think I'm really close to being done with the silver part. There's a spot that I want to just touch a little bit right up here. I think I didn't touch it before because I wasn't using the right brush. You want to use I like to use the biggest brush I can to get the most detail that I can, if that makes any sense. So I'm trying to that's way too light there on the side, but I'm okay with it. I'll fix that later. I don't know. All right, it's a start. It looks like something silver, I guess. You know, I can't complain too much about it. It's a start. That's the important thing. Once I go back into it, I will really dissect it and spend some time getting into all the different pieces. I got this brush over here that I used to clean that off. Alright, I'll have to, let's see, this one. Did I use this one today? Feels wet. Yeah, I use these 3. So I gotta remember to wash those. Alright, so I like to sit back and look at my work, even if I'm not happy with it. Take a moment and you can do your little turn it upside down. I love turning it upside down. I've been staring at it for a while. Does this still look okay? Turned upside down. It looks okay. It looks like metal to me. I'm wondering if it's a little crooked. I hope it's not crooked. It looks a little bit crooked to me. Maybe not. Maybe it's just sitting because it's sitting in front of glass and it's not complete and it looks crooked. I don't know. We'll have to see. We'll have to see when I'm done. Alright, so I'm going to stop there. I've found a good spot for this up here, behind here like that. That seems to be a spot where it doesn't fall on me. So I'm going to call it a day for now, and I will be back this afternoon after lunch for me. So I'll be back around noon. So I hope you join me again, and happy painting. Have a great day. Bye.